Oh, it's about 8:30 or so. Just eating some breakfast. I know it's got cheese on it, but you can hardly taste it. Hash brown and a sweet tea. I'm gonna finish greasing that baler. Well, so told Dad I was gonna go back to greasing his baler after he dropped breakfast off. He's like, "Well, I can already see you missed some." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You missed that one, that one, that one, that one back there, and one back there, and then one over here on this side." So no biggie, but I had to consult my book, the good old operator's manual that everybody just hates. Why? I don't know, but everybody hates these books. I guess there's a grease fitting right there for that little guy. There's one there for that half shaft, and there's one on the inside of that big collar there. Now I got this guy here greased. Supposedly you're supposed to take it off and grease it with it standing on that holder, but I thought it was better just to go ahead and separate it because I didn't want to horse around with trying to get it all hooked up. And then I gotta grease this half. No. Okay, so this is done. This is done. Then I gotta grease this flywheel yet. It shows right. Number 3. That'll be right there. Somewheres. And then the plunger is done. And then the flywheel shaft, needle protection latch point. Where the... Oh, that's looking inside. Okay, because there's the toolbox, I think. Okay, then that one got greased. Yeah, there's about 18,000 grease fittings on this knotter system. Holy cow. Yeah. And what about roller chain locate? That gets oil. Okay. And that gets oil. And that gets oil. So, all in all, I did fairly good greasing this baler. It's just, I need a little bit of persuasion sometimes. So I'm looking right at this flywheel. Okay, so let me backtrack here. That's done. It showed there were some grease fittings back in here, or so it did. Do not store wire twine in this area. Duh, it don't look big enough. There should be some grease fittings on this area? Maybe? That looks like there's one right on that gear. Or do these just get oil? I don't know. Oh yeah, and there's a a grease fitting right there. That's one of the more important ones because it runs that pump. That runs the thrower. What'd I tell you guys? These gloves clean up, okay. Not perfect, but okay. Good enough to where you can reuse them again and again. Yeah, let me get a screwdriver. I gotta take some things apart on this baler so I can grease it. So I had to get me a flathead screwdriver, and the reason why I got to take this guard off is I get a light and I'll show you. I will show. There's a grease fitting in there, and it's right at the top of my light, okay? It's at the top there. Well, then it points back towards me. How the heck do you expect anybody to get a grease gun on that? So what I gotta do is get rid of this cover. And then maybe I'll be able to do something. Yeah, I'll bring it back once I get the cover off. I'll never understand these manufacturers, why they manufacture stuff like this, that you got to take it apart so that you can get in there to grease stuff. I will never understand why they make it so you have to take the thing apart. Ouch. So I got the three bolts out. That thing just slides that way. Oh yeah, and then where'd my grease fitting go? Uh-oh. Oh, it's down here. And then you can get down to that little guy right there and put grease in it. And there's the grease. Okay, so I got this cover off. Is there any? I don't think though. I don't think there's any on this flywheel. But I got everything back here. I like to see grease when I grease something, so that way I know that it's been greased properly. Those of you who probably say, "Oh my God, you're making a mess." No. Gosh, no, that one there, the grease strip's down. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes me feel better. So I'm on my little spiel about, these things that these manufacturers could do different, is with this cover back here. Okay, so you go to open it, right? Yeah. And I think that there's a grease fitting back in here too, but how the hell would you ever hold this door open with that this stupid support here for this acid thing? In my mind, I would, since your door, well, shoot, that wouldn't work either because of how far it opens. Maybe make something come up on a state or uphill and then out and then down. Because honestly, the only thing that you're gonna have tall on this thing is that shield once flipped up, and you're not gonna be, you know, backing this under a low overhang or anything. So yeah, that's just my opinion, and I hope and pray that we don't have to change a bearing, because that would be a nightmare with the way the Newholland manufactured this stupid holder here. And you know, it looks like it just sections here, so you could probably end up, yeah, you could just take it off up here and then just do away with it, which sometimes we use that acid and sometimes we don't, but it don't look, well, shoot, you still got this stupid thing to deal with. But we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. About replacing them bearings. Yeah, these engineers need to do a little bit more thinking about how they design stuff. They've never worked a day in their lives in our shoes. If they would, if they have or would, they'd see things our way. But nope, all they're concerned about is saving a few dollars. So I'm gonna let this thing go. Oh, you know what? I guess I could throw some grease in that tractor while I'm thinking about it. I was always told that on these rear ends, on these things, that you grease them once a year with an empty grease gun. Yeah. We got the glove up there because those are plugs for the sprayer. So that, yeah, one there, one on that side. Grease with an empty grease gun once a year. I noticed on the 6120 that they've changed the grease fittings on them. There are no grease fittings up here no more, or down below on that kingpin on the underside. There's no grease fittings there, or over here on this side, right there, and like I said, on the kingpin, or up underneath, as I'll show you in a minute. And then there is one grease, or a couple grease fittings. The kingpins there that take grease. And then, let's see. There's about, oh, it ain't gonna bend that way. There's some up there that you gotta grease, which I can't believe there's no grease fitting back here on this ball joint. What the heck? But there's one over here. Okay, so let me slide myself back up underneath here. And once again, like I always do, I show you guys that I grease stuff because I know half the people that watch my videos swear up and down that I don't grease stuff. I got a big helping of grease. There's a radiator up in there. And then over there on the other side, that got grease. A really good helping of grease too. Gotta get out of here and go do something else. Clean up my mess here before I go and do something different. It's one nice thing about this blue grease. It cleans up real easy. The black mobile grease that we have over at the pit, that stuff's a nightmare to clean up. But that stuff, we use that stuff in our excavators and loaders and all that stuff because it's sticky and the grease just sticks to them pins and everything, and it lasts longer. Whereas this grease here, it better off for farm equipment stuff. So now we get to unhook this square or round baler off this tractor. You guys have seen me unhook it 1,000 times, so I'm not going to go over that. Hook a disc spine up to this again. Just walking around doing my pre-trip. Let's see, engine oil was okay. The hydraulic oil is okay. Everything's unhooked. Now we can pull away. Haven't used the acid tank in about, I want to say 5 years, 6 years or so. Again, they put this right in the way because you can't open that door very much to grease or work on stuff. It's just in the way. Turn my lights on because I like to be able to see what the heck's going on behind me when I go to pull out, so I don't rip no wires or stuff that I forgot to unplug. But I know that I unplugged everything, but still I like to it's just a force of habit for like when you're backing up to stuff and that, especially in a dark building. Need to slide the seat ahead because I'm not 6 foot, I'm 5'7", so blow the horn to make sure no pedestrians are around or anything. Away we go. So I got this tractor hooked up to the disc spine. Need to look and see if we got any more of them clips. And we don't, so gotta take this thing up to the shop so I can adjust that mirror back before it gets broke. My opinion on mirrors on a tractor, they should be like that 6120, the breakaway style, to where the glass don't move. Oh look, we got the right kind of jack for this thing now. How awesome is that? Cool. Now, Travis won't cry no more. Man, that is so nice, having the right kind of jack. So I was watching Wes Pandy's video the other night about 5 radios and 5 tractors. And I like what he did. with his setup is he went and mounted his CB underneath the factory radio. Now that's all fine and dandy, but how much room is there above the factory radio to do that? I like this idea a lot better because you can easily take it out real quick and easy, or you can take that monitor out, lay it on the floor, and then put the CB there. It's just operator preference, because there really ain't no room up under here to mount the radio permanently. And it don't really block your visibility looking out the windows either. And that's how we got it plugged in, just a cigarette lighter. Now, surprisingly, the splines on that thing were just right with the PTO shaft that it just slid right on, no problem. Get me the heck up top here. Of course, it just starts to rain. Shoot. Yes. Just grab a hold of anything and everything. Swing the mirror. Swing the glass. Oh, it's going the wrong way. I think it needs to come in. Something like that, but that's all we do for our CB antennas, because so it's just a piece of metal bolted into the cab, and that's all we do for our antennas anyhow. Just a Wilson little will. Now, to get back down off here without falling and killing myself. So, no matter how hard I tried to line this guard up with that grease fitting right there, there's just with this hole here down to the grease fitting down there, there's just no good way doing it, because this guard here rotates with this flywheel, as you can see there. But yet you can move this plastic cover around, and that don't really help you get nowheres. So my opinion on guards is you don't need them on farm equipment if you know what the heck you're doing, but like at the other place, you know, guards are mandatory and stuff like that around conveyors, and you don't need them on farm equipment if you know what you're doing. So, I'm headed home. It is decided. It wanted to rain. We were gonna mow hay tomorrow, but I doubt it. Field's gonna be so wet. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.